December mornings hold a special kind of magic. Truth be told, I'm not a morning person, except during the month of December. Like a child, I wake up excited to see what's changed overnight. Is it going to be grey and gloomy sweater weather? Or perhaps it's going to be a beautiful white canvas? My favorite part of the morning has to be stepping outside and letting the cold, crisp air fill up my lungs. It feels like I'm being rewarded with a moment of tranquility before the day truly begins.
Then you know it's Christmas.
Snow starts to fall. Then you know it's Christmas for the children above all. Then you know it's Christmas, 'cause Santa's on his way. We'll stand under the mistletoe. It's Christmas Day.
I've been enjoying journaling on our coffee table right next to the lit up tree. The act of journaling while sitting on the floor feels refreshingly unstructured and natural. Especially since repainting our living room, it feels like I'm being embraced in a warm hug while sitting here. It's also kind of a lucky coincidence that the darker green is a festive color and goes really well with the red and gold decorations for the holidays. Our cool-toned grey couch, however, has sort of become the elephant in the room. A new couch is in the not-so-near-future plans, so for now, to warm it up a touch, I added a cozy flannel throw over it. Something hilarious is that Pat's not a fan of this throw, only because he says that the ends look like creepy alien fingers. But I think it does do a good job stealing the attention away from the grey couch. I would someday love to have a mantle in my home, but I don't think that it's actually very common in Germany. So each year, I treat my TV console like it's a mantle and drape a garland across it. Last year, I made it more woodland themed, but this year I kept it relatively simple and just added some little houses. I also strung these bell garlands that I made 2 years ago using some vintage looking bells and fishing wire. They're held with clear command clips that I have used before, and they do come off clean without ripping the paint off. I also used them on the ceiling to hang these paper snowflakes that I made last year. Simply glue about 7 paper bags together and experiment with different cutouts, and you have these beautiful paper snowflakes. This year, my favorite Christmas decorations have to be the kitchen shelves. I was pretty lost on where to start, but I made a Christmas mood board on Pinterest and tried to recreate certain looks with things I already had.
Well, I'm all for Christmas, all the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all from the lights to the mistletoe.
Over on the other side, I didn't want to move the jars of dried goods away, so I made them a little more festive by taping these little stars made of straw. This is an antique coffee grinder from Pat's late grandmother, and beside it I just put some books I thrifted and thought the green really made the brown of the coffee grinder pop. This beautiful painting I found at a flea market this past summer. But my favorite detail here has to be the little duckle that I added a bow on to make him look really festive.
This Christmas I only wanna be close to you.
Every December, we have this tradition of buying a chocolate advent calendar, but this year I decided to make Pet one out of recycled toilet paper rolls. I found it easiest to stick to toilet paper rolls with a paintbrush and some Mod Podge. The most tedious part for me was cutting the circles, but stamping on the numbers was really satisfying. And my favorite part of it all has to be the chimney fire. When putting up the tree each year, I like to reminisce about the memories attached to each bubble, like the vintage instruments we got from a Christmas market in Midfits, the acorn from Coburg, and the Christmas sloth we got on our first Christmas together 9 years ago. This year, I decided that I'm going to try making some simple ornaments on my own. Truthfully, we don't usually have our meals on the dining table, except for when we host friends and family during the holidays. But it is where I edit all of my videos, do a lot of DIYs, fix jigsaw puzzles, and play tons and tons of board games with Pet, especially during the holidays. So the decor on the table itself is kept to a minimum, but I did go just a little bit extra with the rest of the room. I kept the bookshelves mostly untouched, except for a sprinkle of Christmas here and there. And if you remember this from my fall video, I've changed the season of the Woodland Wonderland. On top of the bookshelves, I strung 2 garlands across and tried to break up all the green with some burgundy colored ribbon. The largest ceramic houses live on top of the bookshelves this year and light up on a timer in the evening.
What a feeling, now it's time for Christmas. And Christmas is my favorite time of year. It's beginning to look like all my
When I was 5,
wishes.
my parents bought me this beautiful train set that goes around the Christmas tree. It was a special gift since my birthday is just 2 days before Christmas. Sadly, I don't have that train set anymore, but fate has intervened and I've married someone who loves to collect antique trains. These trains have been collected by Pet over the years, and I love that it's now our little Christmas tradition to set it up around the tree. I hope you have a really joyful December and spend it around loved ones and watch the best movies from the early 2000s. See you next year!